Andrew McCART, IFL TV, MTK Global. I'm here at AAA Boxing Gym in Edinburgh. With me I've got the main man himself, Alex Arthur. How you been, mate?
Not bad, mate, not bad. Very busy lately.
I was about to say, you've been travelling to Italy for the DAZN Italy shows and a couple of the DAZN shows.
Aye, been doing loads of the DAZN stuff.
How's it going?
It's great, I really do enjoy it. It's really, it's great fun. And you get to go and watch a fight, so aye, no complaints.
You've been to Italy twice, how's your time?
Oh, it's terrible. Terrible.
So again, I suppose we're talking about it now, so let's just jump straight into that DAZN Italy. It's like, I mean, you've been to Florence, Milan, you were at Peterborough for the Jordan Gill fight.
I was so impressed by him. He was outstanding.
I was going to ask, is anyone over in the Italian shows that you've seen, anyone?
Nah, no one's impressed me. Not so far. Apart from Joe Hughes, he fought on the first card over there that we covered, and he was outstanding. He really blew me away. And when I learnt about his disability, his Erb's palsy that he's got, and how it took me a bit before I actually cottoned on to what was going on, and I was like, this guy is winning this fight comprehensively against a taller, more awkward opponent with one hand. But then when I learnt about the disability, I was like, that makes perfect sense. His jab was like a ramrod, and he was doubling up left hooks to the body, then switching up to the head, and then he was gone. He was so impressive. I was more impressed when I learnt that he actually had a disability. Phenomenal.
It's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Oh, he was amazing.
You touched on it there. You were down Peterborough for the Jordan Gill fight, and you said Jordan Gill impressed you.
He was very, very good. Very good.
How far do you think Jordan can go?
He can go very far. I could see him mixing with all the best kind of like featherweights in the UK right now. Maybe no pushing as far as Josh Warrington. That might be a step too far at this juncture of his career. But patient, got great balance. I noticed his timing's very, very good. He can punch. He can get his opponent's respect. He looks like a hard puncher. Physically, he looks quite big for the weight class as well. I was really impressed. Great timing of his punches was brilliant, and his patience for how many bouts he's had was really impressive. Really good.
Staying with the DAZN thing, huge heavyweight fight. We're just going to go right in the deep end. Big Baby Miller and Anthony Joshua out in New York on the 1st of June. Just want to get your thoughts on that fight as well. I mean, like, can you see Joshua slipping up here?
No, not at all. I don't think Miller hits hard enough. I don't think his athletic ability is good enough to match Joshua, and it just doesn't match him in any department for me. I think it should be, on paper, a relatively easy fight for AJ, and a fight that a lot of people have criticised him for him taking. They're saying he probably should have went for one of the bigger names in the division, but it's good business, and and it'll probably sell over there quite well, and people will pay to watch that fight. So, but in terms of the actual mechanics of the fight, I see it being quite one-sided and a comprehensive win for Joshua. Do you
think this is like maybe more of a business decision for Joshua?
I think so,
because it's like getting his name out in America, fighting, making his American debut against. Let's put it. He is a top-ranked American heavyweight.
No, he is. He is, but he just doesn't have the attributes to give somebody like Anthony Joshua trouble, in my opinion, or he shouldn't at least. And if Anthony Joshua doesn't underestimate him, and he's done his preparations properly, he should take care of him within 6 rounds, I would think.
Well, this fight came about because obviously, excuse me, Dillian Whyte got offered the fight and he wasn't happy with the terms that was given. Do you think that there could have been more done to maybe get that fight made?
I think there could always be more done, and I think that thinking about what the fans want and what they want to see should come into the minds of the promoters and the people, the sponsors and the TV companies. They should really think about that a little bit more, because the last thing you want, the heavyweight division is just starting to get a wee bit more interesting again, and I want people losing interest in it at this point. So I think that there definitely could have been more done. Dillian Whyte definitely deserves a shot at one of the major titles now.
It's WBC Brazil against Wilder, haven't they? So he's lost out. He's not getting that fight next.
It's crazy, I mean, he really does deserve a title fight. He's paid his dues. He's came back. He's looked brilliant since losing to Joshua. He's worked on his conditioning. He looks more like an athlete now. He's leaner. He's lighter. I've noticed he looks a wee bit quicker than what he has in the past as well. He's punching harder, especially with the left hand.
Yeah.
You know, reminds me a wee bit of Henry Cooper. Strangely, he does, because if you look at all his fights, his right hand is not, for a heavyweight, it's not deadly at all.
Yeah.
I don't think he's knocked anyone out with his right hand. It's really, it's that left hook, and he relies on it heavily. But if it lands on anyone, it's game over. And I think he's actually got more powerful since the Joshua fight as well. So I think that's a different fight now.
Well, where does Whyte go? Who does he face? I mean, like, he's already fought Parker.
Yeah.
Usyk's probably fighting Povetkin. There's word on that in May. Out in Chicago, I believe. So where does Whyte go from here?
It's hard for him, isn't it?
The heavyweight division's shallow when it comes to talent-wise, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. But I mean, I think even Tyson Fury has piped up in some interview and said that he genuinely feels quite bad for Dillian Whyte. I think, and he was like, "I'll give Dillian a shot," you know, at the lineal heavyweight champion of the world, and you know, I think that's.
Do you recognise that, the lineal?
Aye. Yeah. I mean, I think that's a fair point, and I think it's quite nice of Tyson Fury to say, "I'll give him a shot." No one else wants to fight him, so.
It's the fights. The fans love heavyweight. I mean, when you look at heavyweight boxing, everyone tunes into heavyweight boxing. It doesn't matter who's fighting really. But the fans want to see the top five: the Whyte, the Joshua, Wilder.
Of course they do. Naturally.
Fury. They all want them to fight each other.
Of course they do.
Again, for Fury with ESPN, Joshua with DAZN, Wilder still with Showtime, I believe.
It's all business, It's all business, sadly.
Was it business in your day?
There was a wee bit of business involved, but one promoter kind of controlled everything back then. So I think fights were a little bit easier to make than what they are now.
Again, Wilder then, he's fighting Brazil. Do you think that's just a walk in the park?
I don't think it's a hard fight for him at all. I think he'll probably knock Brazil out by 4 or 5 rounds, I think. If he's squatting, I heard he's squatting.
Is he?
He must have heard the interview that we done last time.
Everyone tunes into McCART.
Oh man, it seems to be a popular thing now. I think as long as he's listened to the interview and he's squatting.
You hear that, Wilder? Do some squats.
Do some squats, mate.
You've got to send them some videos in, because I've seen you squat 200k the other month, I believe.
I was I done 190 for 3 the other night. So I'm going to get back up to. I'm going to go for 210s.
What's the end goal here? What's the end goal?
I don't know. I think because I can't box anymore, I think I just look for something else to do.
See how strong you can get. You're doing it. So
I bicep curled 65 kilos last night as well for 8 reps.
Really?
I don't know how on earth. I've always been physically strong. I think now that I'm not starving.
Maybe in the bodybuilding competition.
No,
you can't. The wee white fronts on.
You can't go out and bleed and fight for your life in front of 5 million people on TV and then prance about on a stage. All levels of manhood would be lost.
I don't know, but you might get some new fans.
Yeah, you never know.
They might jump ship. Anyway, back to business. Again, I touched on it there that Povetkin might be fighting Usyk, and you've spoke to me on many occasions and said that Usyk is. What did you say? He's a big Lomachenko. He's a big Lomachenko or something like that.
Lomachenko,
How can Usyk hang with the big boys at heavyweight?
Well, apparently a Ukrainian friend of mine that knows him really well has told me in the past that his natural walking around weight is around about the 16.5 stone mark. So for him to get to cruiserweight must have been quite tough. You know, we're talking about, I mean, he's a big lad, so a couple of stone for a big lad like that, I can't equate that to kilos. If it's over 91 plus, I'm lost. So just with the amateurs, I just know all the weights and kilos in the amateurs. Once you go past 91 plus, I'm done. We need to get a mathematician to help with that. But I think that apparently his walking around weight is in the region of 16.5 stone. So for him to start eating a wee bit more calories and maybe lifting some weights, they're very, very intelligent with their bodies and how to train over there, and they know how to do it properly. And I would think that getting up to 17.5 stone for Usyk might not be that hard.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that far away from it.
Wilder's only 15 and a bit stone.
That's what I mean. So there you go. I mean, Usyk naturally is probably heavier than Wilder. Whether or not that weight is good weight and usable weight in a fight, i.e. muscle, it remains to be seen. But that is, for what I'm told, his natural walk around weight. So for him to get up to 17 stone comfortably, shouldn't it be that difficult for a guy his size?
Well, heavyweights to aside, we were speaking off camera, me and your laddie junior there.
Yeah.
The Spence Garcia fight this Saturday night.
Yeah.
You've got a smile on your face because you normally give your predictions.
Yeah.
Like normally you say, when you text me if one of your predictions come through, told you, and you seem to do it quite a lot. So, what's your prediction for Spence Garcia?
I actually think Garcia is going to cause a huge upset, and I mean,
break it down. Go on and break it down
well,
for me.
do you know something? I think that past history shows with a number of world class fighters. Let's go over a few names just to run through them. Julio Cesar Chavez, Roberto Duran have all successfully moved up for super featherweight, lightweight, to conquer welterweight champions unexpectedly. And I think that Garcia fits that picture for me, fits that bill. You can look at his skill set and his intelligence in the ring. He seems to control the tempo at every fight he's in. He's got some fantastic movement patterns that he sticks with, and he seems like the kind of guy that will do them over and over again, much like Floyd Mayweather in a totally different sense. Obviously, the shoulder roll, the counter punching. Garcia has, in my opinion, the best basic 1-2 in boxing. It's fantastic. Watch his 1-2.
You want to demonstrate that in the bag?
No,
you still got it?
I'm not quite sure I could perform it to Garcia's level, but he's got the best 1-2 in boxing, the best basic 1-2. It's massively effective. He steps in so well with his shots. The timing of his punches is impeccable. His balance, he's almost got a grip of the ground when he punches, and his defence is actually much better than what anybody gives him credit for. And I think that he can upset Spence by not being in a position where Spence is effective. I don't know if that to the boxing purist, they'll be sitting there saying, I get what you mean, Alec, but to the sort of the untrained eye, I would say it in a way where I think that Garcia can out-time Spence, and I think that if he can do that and stay out the way of the obviously bigger guy.
I was going to say, I think the size plays a part in this.
He's a big guy, and and you see him next to Terence Crawford in interviews and a few other guys. I think I've seen him standing beside a couple of the middleweight champions as well. He's only a welterweight, and you see him standing beside some of the middleweight champions, and he's on equal par in size with them. And on a few occasions, he actually looks bigger, and I think he must come down for roughly, I would say, the 180 pound region to get to 147. I would think. I'd be as confident as saying that that's a fact. He looks huge when he's out of training. So for him to drop down to the welterweight division must be a difficult ask for him. Could that catch up with him here in this fight? Possibly.
Some people say it caught up with Kell Brook.
It catches up with everyone. It catches up with everyone in boxing history. You can't keep making the weight. You can't keep making the weight year after year, fight after fight, and still perform at that. Anybody can make the weight. I could probably still make super featherweight. But could I compete and be successful at that weight? No.
No chance.
No chance. So it does eventually catch up with you.
Well, you broke it down. As you break it down, you did. So that's fair play. Where does Garcia go from here then if he wins this? I mean, can he compete with the guys like Terence Crawford?
I would some
big Thurmans and all these guys.
I think Crawford beat him in the amateurs.
Garcia?
I think he beat Garcia in the amateurs. I think it was in the very sort of predominant stages of Garcia's amateur career. For one of the interviews I remember listening, so I think that Garcia lost a wide points decision to Crawford. That's a huge fight.
Crawford pound number one for you?
Aye, without a doubt. He can do everything. He's brilliant.
Where's Lomachenko in that?
In the top five, I would say in the top five. I think the thing with Lomachenko is that I'm not too sure he can go any heavier.
I don't think so.
He's a very small guy, and he's obvious.
Still some achievement what he's
skills.
done,
It's phenomenal, man. He's a phenomenal athlete, phenomenal boxer, and his skill set right now is unmatched, and he's the perfect southpaw, isn't he? He does everything perfectly. He's tremendous.
I don't know if did you see the pictures of Garcia and Lomachenko together?
Aye.
Garcia looks massive.
He looks massive compared to him.
Lomachenko.
Absolutely huge. And I mean Garcia apparently doesn't find it too difficult to make the lightweight limit, or so he says. I thought he looked particularly drained in the face when I seen him weighing at lightweight in his last match. So I think welterweight will be quite comfortable for Garcia, but there's no way that Lomachenko can go up that heavy. There's just no way. I think lightweight is the the end weight for him, that he can compete and be effective.
Garcia and Lomachenko at lightweight, then how do you see that then?
Oh, that's a hard fight for both guys. Garcia, the bigger puncher. I might even lean towards Garcia on that.
You're quite big on Garcia.
I would maybe even think about leaning towards him in that fight as well, providing he can make the weight comfortably. If he can't and he's flat, he'll get circles boxed around him. Circles. Because if you're dead at the weight and you're up against a technical guy like that, you've not got the energy to chase them and break them down, and you know, he would get comprehensively outboxed if that was the case. And he was struggling to make weight.
Well, another huge fight coming up is obviously touched on Terence Crawford, who you believe is the pound for pound number one. He's fighting Amir Khan. I think it's on the 20th of June, is it? Yeah, 20th of June.
You've got to take your hat off to Amir Khan, haven't you? He fights anyone. I mean, he's part for Kell Brook. I mean, it's just a weird situation. Why he will not fight Kell Brook, but he'll go in with all these other huge names in the division.
There's been, sorry for interrupting you there, Alex. Do you think that when Amir Khan and Kell Brook have been talked about, Amir's always had that other fight coming in, like Canelo's went fight me, and he's went, you know what, that's a bigger, better name, I'll fight him, and then this time round there's been talk of Kell Brook and Khan again, but then Crawford came up. Do you think it's just been the wrong time?
The timing, there is an argument for that. The timing's not been ideal for that fight to happen, but there just seems to be something more behind it. And I don't know what it is. Amir clearly thinks he's A side, and he thinks he deserves a lot more money than Kell Brook, and he's a lot more popular than Kell Brook, and you know, he believes he's a better fighter. But there's something weird going on there. There's a wee bit of fear there in Amir Khan, which is rare for Amir Khan. It doesn't come across as the kind of guy that's frightened anyone. But I think he's a wee bit weary of Kell Brook for some reason or other.
They have sparred, but nobody knows.
Nobody knows what happened.
So, I don't know if something's been. We can read too much into that.
You never know. There's. I mean, but it's not like fighting, is it? No. It's nothing like fighting.
Exactly. Well, before I let you go, you've got two young laddies that we spoke about enormously. I think that they're very talented, young Macklin and Alex, and that. It's just talking their development and how they're getting on this year and what's
they've been doing great. Macklin just won his third Scottish title just at 12 years old. He's won 3 titles back to back now. Another KO, another stoppage victory for Macklin in the final of the Scottish recently. I think he beat the kid he beat in the final. He beat his brother in the final last year. So Macklin really needs extra competition now, I think, moving away.
Do you think European competition now?
Yeah, European competition of sorts. I think we might even need to go to the States or something like that for Macklin to get competition, or Ireland. I've been speaking with Bernard Dunn about hopefully getting over there to box with some young lads over there who I believe could give Macklin good competition, which he needs badly. For his development, he's still unbeaten. He's never lost a fight. He's never lost a round. If any of his bouts have went to points, he's won unanimous every bout. But the normal ending stoppage with Macklin stopping the kids that he's fighting. So he needs a wee bit stiffer competition now. He's like 5'3" now as well. He's getting taller and taller. He's getting taller and taller all the time, and I've moved a bit with him myself now.
You look at Junior.
Well, Alex is creeping up there now. He's still growing. He's 6'2" now. I don't know how. I hope he doesn't get any taller. He's going to have to get another trainer, because I can't reach up there with the pads.
Heavyweight,
A ginger Scottish heavyweight world champion. I know. I've never had one of those. This is true. But Alex. Alex naturally talented. Alex naturally talented. Macklin's. It's different, or I believe it's different. Macklin's done loads and loads and loads of practice. Macklin's been in the gym since he was like 4. But Alex just said, I'm just going to take up boxing a couple of years ago, and now he's beat me up in sparring now. And if I spar with him every now and then, something's always hurt.
You don't let them have their...
Nah.
You don't take it easy on them?
No, I didn't take it easy on them. No chance. I was Alex's sparring partner for his successful win over Ali Lang, who's the reigning national champion, Scottish champion, who Alex likely to come up against over the next weekend. Really good young fighter for up north. So it's a tough competition. Everyone wants to win the Scottish Open Championship, and of course they'll go on to being able to compete internationally for their country, and the Europeans and the British and all this stuff. So there's a lot riding on it. He's really excited. He's worked really, really hard. So hopefully he can pull it off at the weekend.
I'm a chief sparring partner, Alex, if you need one, mate.
A cheap sparring partner. There's no such thing as a cheap sparring partner.
Well, I am. Well, Alex, again, thanks for doing this Firefield TV. I love catching up with you and I love spending my time with you. I hope you enjoyed the coffee again. You know, I'm the coffee man when I come round.
You're the coffee man.
And
the rap man, the coffee man, the interview man. You've got about...
What do they call him? What are they called?
A master of all trades. We'll just
I can't remember what it is, but I'm a master of all trades. I'm a rat catcher, pigeon shooter, and a boxing... a boxing
analyst. Analyst.
I don't know if I'm a journalist or that. So, would you call me a journalist?
I don't know the name for it actually. Interviewer.
Oh, that's fine by me. I'll take that. I was going to ask you one more thing. Sorry, it was with the huge news that came out yesterday with MTK Global and ESPN
massive.
Hooking up. Just want to get your thoughts on that.
Huge.
Quickly.
I mean, what a step, and I mean, what a company when you think about how much they've done and how far they've came over the last 2 years. It's remarkable stuff, isn't it, really? And you know, they're making worldwide connections now with all the major promoters, major organisations, and they work with everyone. They work with everyone, which is testimony to how good they are as a company. The fact that they can sit down with everyone and say, we can work with you. It's fantastic. It's brilliant for boxing and for the boxers that are...
I was going to say, the boxers are on the stable.
So good for them all. And they're all well looked after. You know, every one of them are well looked after. Everyone that's been with MTK that I know and have spoken to in the past all say the same thing. They're brilliant. You know, they pay us well, they get us good deals. They're good managers, so you can't complain, can you?
Certainly can't complain. Well, you're going to train Alex up here because he's got a huge weekend ahead of him in the Scottish. So again, I'll end it here. Thanks for this Firefield TV, Alex. I'll catch up with you soon, champ.
All the best, guys.
Cheers, buddy.